Just briefly on that, I think the point I was making is that the agenda of the NGOs is being forcibly skewed to the political agenda of the politicians, and this is the problem, that it's compromising the nature of genuine charitable work because governments are seeking to co-opt NGOs and use them for political purposes to give some justification for their humanitarian interventions, in quotes. Okay, I'm going to bring back Munder and then the Professor to respond to the comments.
I don't have much to say, actually. I don't think any power in the world now in control of events. It is a tendency in the Arab world to ascribe to America some superpowers, and that everything is organized or orchestrated by the Americans, including, for example, ISIS and everything else. I don't think that's the right way of understanding things. Things are out of hand. Things are out of control, and they cannot even control their own military or their own forces, the CIA, the FBI. All of the big powers in the world are in crisis, and they cannot, they can control their own arms of state, but they cannot really control things on the ground. The people on the ground are the more effective. And because the people on the ground are various and they're competing with each other, they can spoil each other's forces easily. It takes 1/10 of the force to spoil the whole thing. So different people can spoil each other. So my opinion or my expectation is that the chaos in the Middle East will continue until some forces which are unseen within the nations in the Middle East, within each country, coalesce together and find a way through. But I don't think this is going to happen probably in this current generation, because we are all damaged. All of these generations have been damaged by dictatorship, damaged by imperialism, damaged by a variety of things. So I'm not very hopeful. But I think we have to, as Zubaydah was saying, that we stick to our own values. And that's it. We stick to our own values, we keep it.
There are many questions. I will answer all them brief. المشكلة انه اتوقع من الولايات المتحدة حل المشكلة العراقية هي خلقت هذه المشكلة. الولايات المتحدة الأمريكية هي خلقت هذه المشكلة، بالتالي وهذا أيضا الإجابة تعطينا إجابة على المشكلة الأخرى الثانية اللي هي الانتخابات. إنه مفاتيح الحل للأسف مو بيد العراقيين، بيد القوى العظمى وقوى إقليمية أخرى متقاسمة الأدوار وفق مصالحها. فمتى تقرر أن هناك حل جزئي أو حل كلي للمشكلة العراقية سيكون هناك لو اتفقت وفق نهاية الأجندة اللي معطاة لها. أنا قلت ممكن يكون حل مشكلة الموصل مع الانتخابات الأمريكية، يعني سيناريو من السيناريوهات المطروحة بهذا الخصوص.
Okay, the US will not solve the Iraqi problem. It created it and will not solve it. The key, unfortunately, the keys to solve the regional and the Iraqi problem are not in our hands, and they are in the hands of the Americans and the regional powers. He had suggested the issue that the Mosul issue can probably be solved after the election. It's just an idea, a thinking. That may happen, but not true.
The problem in the Middle East يعني المشكلة في الشرق الأوسط إنه مشكلة إسرائيل أحد الإخوان سوى مقاربة فيها إنه مشكلة إسرائيل إنه قائمة على دولة دينية، فبالتالي يجب أن تكون هذه المنطقة مقسمة إلى دويلات دينية وإثنية حتى تتساوى فيما بين هذه الرأي اللي أرجحه على بقية الآراء، وراح تظهر أن الخريطة الجديدة يعني أتوقع حسب اعتقادي منذ بدء المشكلة ب 2003 قلت إنه 2017 هي السنة الحاسمة في ظهور خارطة جديدة في الشرق الأوسط.
He supported the idea of the gentleman on the floor who mentioned that Israel is behind a lot of the issues in the Middle East, and he suggested that because Israel is a religious entity, it has the interest of having religious entities around.
one comment. الحل اللي طلبت به الأخت قالت شنو الحل لازم يطلع برؤية. أنا وجهة نظري إنه الحل يجب أن يكون تغيير في العراق، تغيير شامل بمستوى تغيير 2003، لكن هذه ليست دعوة لاحتلال العراق مرة ثانية.
So, I think we are now closing. This is the last comment. His opinion about the lady who mentioned about what should happen. He thinks that the Iraq needs a change similar to the 2003, but not as an occupation.
Can I thank our speakers for their contributions, and thank you as well for your contributions. We're going to take a 10-minute break now for refreshments. Thank you very much.